Alright, YouTube, I've been gone for a solid minute, at least a month or two, but that was not because I wasn't getting ready for content. I've been talking about it for like 9 months now, probably closer to a year, but I finally got it. I don't know if you guys can tell yet, but this exhaust right here, dude, it is a fucking beast. It's the stealth exhaust with the reverse cone. This thing sounds... honestly, it sounds fucking nasty, dude. I mean, I got the pipe, I put it on, and what took so long for me to start getting this content out was I needed to go get it tuned. I didn't want to necessarily go with, just a plug-and-play tuner, just because you pay $500 and you don't get necessarily everything out of the bike. So I scheduled an appointment and got it dyno tuned also. I have the chart back home. It didn't pull out crazy numbers from stock, but it rides so much better. The throttle response, so much better. Everything. Also, I had to get my bike registered in my new state, which is Florida. So it wasn't because I didn't want to ride or I couldn't ride. It was because I just had put so many things into it. Also, I got the sissy bar. I mean, the sissy bar looks so good too. I think it adds to the look of the bike. It's not necessarily something I need, but I think it just cleans up that rear end because it's just like empty space back there. When I get risers on this bike next, I think it'll make everything really come together. But guys, also I want to apologize for the weather. I guess I don't really know what's going on. It was beautiful yesterday, but I was just too busy to make a video. So today, here it is. I mean, this is the center of attention anyway, but I wish you guys had good views. That's why I came here, because this is the water, and typically it looks pretty nice. But anyway, let's start this bad boy up. You guys ready? Dude, you don't understand how happy I was when I finally got this exhaust on there. I mean, Jesus, but here we go. Stealth exhaust, made right here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Polished. This is their polish, so they sent it off to California to get polished. But enough with that. Let's get it started. Oh my God, it's nasty. Something that I've noticed a lot is videos don't do exhaust justice, right? So I'm gonna do, first of all, I'm gonna edit my audio a little bit, so maybe it sounds a little deeper and true to real life. But if not, I'm going to buy like a microphone setup specifically for exterior, maybe mount something here so you guys can get a real close comparison to real life. You're probably gonna have to wear headphones or something for you to actually get the true sound. But my mic today is in my helmet. It might not sound exactly how I want it to, but it sounds way better than stock. Look at any of my other videos and you'll know what stock sounds like. But God, it sounds so fucking nasty. And yeah, dyno tune, guys, dyno tune. So let's go ahead and get this bike back on the road. Let's talk about the dyno tune. Let's talk about the exhaust. Let's talk about the overall feeling of the bike now. Now, before we get into the review here, guys, I definitely want to say thank you for checking out my video. I did not realize that you guys really do keep up with me. I'm still a small channel, but you guys were DMing me on Instagram, making sure I was good and okay. You were just like, hey man, we're missing your content. I didn't post on Instagram because I didn't want to ruin the YouTube surprise with the things I've done to the bike. So hey, I really appreciate you guys actually taking notice and caring about my content, because that really that just definitely motivates me to keep going, man, and put money into the bike for content reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you, when I first started, it really was I had to motivate myself, but now you guys are motivating me, so I really appreciate that. But all right, give me a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So I installed the exhaust by myself. If I could do it, you can do it. The whole spiel with that. Okay, yeah, it's super easy. The stealth comes as one piece, so actually getting it installed is a little bit more difficult than a 3-piece exhaust. It's still manageable, not hard. It's gonna go, just make sure you choose the right model if you were to go with their exhaust for a bike you have. But it's a little wet on the ground, so I'm not taking these as hard as I'd like to. But in terms of sound, this is the best fucking sounding exhaust I've heard. I actually went to bike night not too long ago out here in Florida. You know, the bike scene's a little bit different out here. There's a lot of, like, in California, you know, everybody's got brand new this, all this. Here, they kind of, you know, they just ride what they've had. But anyway, with that being said, I heard a few lowriders. Some of them were running the basic Two Brothers. Others were running Bassani. They sound good. They sound good. If you want one, go get one. But when it comes to this exhaust, it's so it's deep and throaty, and it's a straight up. You can look through this thing like a telescope, bro. There is nothing restricting it whatsoever. And yeah, this is the best sounding exhaust, guys. I don't even know if that's personal opinion. If you put like the 3 top best, well, Sawicki also is up there in my opinion with this exhaust specifically. But I just wanted something that would piss my neighbors off in the morning and just sounds like it's got fucking balls. And that's what it does. But yeah, we'll go ahead and, I don't even know where I'm going. Let's take a right here, yeah? I feel like we can. We shot some photos right there. That's why I picked that spot. I thought it looked pretty dope. But oh, no more lane splitting, boys and girls. Legally, I should say. Legally. But anyway, god damn, this thing fucking goes, son. So let's talk about the tune with this exhaust. Look at my 5,000 and 1,000 mile review. Both videos, I tell you, you have quite a bit of torque up to about 3K, and then the power dies off. You know, I talked about the lack in horsepower. You can feel it. 3,500, not even. Oh, I kind of dragged that clutch out right there. Embarrassing. Anyway, you can kind of 3K, the power died off. Boys, girls, listen to me. After I threw this exhaust on, obviously you unrestricted its breathing ability, right? You gave it all the air it could ask for. I sense it get tuned. It gets tuned. I floored this bitch coming out of there, and it only pulled harder the faster or the higher RPMs I went. Like, it's almost like the power delivery, sorry, why did I say it like that? It's like the power delivery flipped. So serious. Like, before, if I wanted to make progress in accelerating, I would have to, you know, make sure I was in between 2 and 4, right? 2 and 3.5K, right? Now I could just ride the whole gear out and just basically be holding on for the ride. It feels so good. Let's talk about throttle response. So there is 1,000,000%. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I get so carried away, I just say dumb things. Throttle response on a stock bike and a stock tune is garbage. If I was to give it gas, you know, like you could, there's a delay, there's this, there's that. Right now, if I ask for 100% throttle, I'm getting 100% throttle. And that's the biggest thing with dyno tuning or flashing your ECU to begin with. And that goes for Harleys and sport bikes. In order for them to pass emissions and do all these things, if you say 100% throttle, there's points in that RPM range, no matter what gear you're in, where you might only be getting 30 or 40% throttle. That's why you hear people say there's dead spots in my throttle, because you're requesting 100%, but the tune says 40, right? And that's all emissions based and dumb things. So is it worth going out and tuning and doing all these things without at least putting headers exhaust on? I would say no. I would say it's not necessarily worth it there, because you will be paying a pretty penny, which I'll tell you right now, my tune was $800, but that is for the licensing and all that. So now, from now on, it's only going to be like $300 to tune to progress, but you had to buy that initial license for your VIN, right, to unlock. I don't know. Anyway, but no secrets here. But dude, this thing just rips. It, you know, it's crazy now because if I give it a quarter throttle, I'm used to the bike kind of like having this curve where if I give it a quarter throttle, it goes, and it maybe even picks up a little bit more speed. And now if I give it a throttle, it's only giving me a quarter of a throttle. That's it. It's linear. You know, so I've gotten lazy with how this bike used to ride. I didn't necessarily have to give it 100% throttle for me to get the same performances because of how the tune was tuned, right? So all I really had to do was give it 50% throttle because there's parts in that RPM range that 50% was its max. So now if I'm trying to accelerate, I have to give it 100% throttle if I want 100% throttle. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the on and off of the throttle, though, I will admit, is a little bit more touchy now. So there's times where I feel like if I'm trying to go slow and I go off the throttle and back on, it jumps, right? It's not as lazy. So it's just something I have to get used to, especially when I'm going into a turn from a stop, you know, like at a red light, turning left. The bike just wants to go now, so I have to ease on that clutch a little bit more if the goal is to be nice and smooth about it, so I don't kick out the rear end and, you know, do what happens there. But now I have this bike pretty close to where I'm happy with it, which I'll never be 100% because now I want to do a cam because, you know, that's just how us motorcycle riders are. Let's see what's going on in a little downtown Cape Coral, shall we? But yeah, man, this thing, it just feels so much better. It rides so much smoother. The power, it sounds so much, oh God, the sound. Here, let me lift up my visor and give it a little rev. Oh my God. Fucking nasty, boys, nasty. I'm also going around trying to take some new photos because I haven't posted anything because I wanted to keep everything a little bit of a surprise because YouTube stuff, right? The Sissy bar, I got it from Edward Ritchie on on Etsy. It was 280 bucks shipped to my door. Took I would say took a week and a half, and it looks fantastic. He does such a good job. I like it because it's unique. It's unique for sure. Looks great. And you know what? I was gonna buy this Sissy bar a long time ago, but here's the problem. He only had them in raw stainless. He had no little bikes over there. He had no painted versions, and I know that he offers it, but I just didn't feel like going through the whole get it delivered. Now I'm excited because I have it, and then I got to send it off to get painted. You know, so I waited until he had them back, and yeah, you know, patience is a virtue. There's definitely some bikes running around here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's just that little restaurant. You know? Some of these Florida riders, man, because, you know, this is where I started riding 10 years ago. They are, they're not friendly, to say the least. It picks up so quick. That was 0 to 40 and I would say, what, 2 seconds? You know, I might time it when I watch the video back, but honestly, I pinned it. I went from stop to 40,